The first video posted on July 7th, called Where's Nikki?, intended to give investigators clues of where Nikki can be found while attempting to be discreet with my own identity. For the perpetrators, there were political and safety concerns also taken into consideration of what may be too controversial for the common citizen. But this one is going to be straight to the point, no beating around the bushes. To answer the question, reliable communication of where Nikki's body is, what happened to her, and who killed her. 1,001 feet deep hole. Near Highway 5 in the Elk Grove area. Quote unquote, Barnes is significant, as well as Davis. The address for the hole, which was dug and prepared for her death, is 8675 Lots Parkway, Elk Grove, California. The message received was that 3 weeks prior to Nikki's scheduled court date hearing to testify against her husband, Tyler McCain, she was forcibly taken to what has been referred to as Barnes property. It is alleged that she was subjected to torture and ultimately died from starvation on June 25th, just a week before the court appearance. The premeditated nature of Nikki's death appears to have been orchestrated to give the illusion that she had voluntarily gone missing, a scheme in which her husband was complicit. The conclusion is supported by news reports detailing her last text to her sister and the location of her vehicle. In terms of culpability, it is estimated that at least 26 individuals participated in the conspiracy to murder her. These individuals are believed to belong to a clandestine society, a secret society, while the names of those involved in this organized crime will be disclosed at the end of the video. Of the 51 individuals involved in the plotting and planning process, from transportation to the burial, are former and current sheriffs from Shasta and Sacramento County, as well as law enforcement officials, including police officers, FBI agents, a highway patrol officer, a church leader, an optometrist, a lawyer, and medical professionals. Beneath the properties in the Sacramento Elk Grove aforementioned area are hidden tunnels and cavities, and several of these properties are owned by members of the secret society. The concealment of transportation, sex trafficking, slavery, drug dealing, holding victims hostage, burial of innocent victims in isolated location is a common operational tactic employed by these individuals. The responsible parties of Nikki's death is allegedly intertwined with a group of false spiritualists associated with the U.S. government, CIA intelligence, that has formed a secret society rooted in the heart of California's state capital, Sacramento. Spiritualists are said to have allied with a CIA operative, subsequently recruiting law enforcement officials. Today, individuals ranging from ordinary criminals to high-ranking government officials are reportedly aligned with this secret society. Connected to the Central International Fellowship Church in Sacramento. It was observed that its property does not appear on Google Earth. Instead, a glitch is present. I turned to Google Maps to obtain an image of the church's location and found a photograph taken months prior. It is imperative to note that there are claims of deceased individuals, including children, being interred in the church's backyard and bodies upon death cemented in the church's parking lot after the bodies have been presented as blood sacrificial offerings to evil entities for the presenter to gain power, control, fame, money, youth. Innocent victims are unknowingly tied into or verbally contracted in with the church by a false spiritualist that may have been brought in by a family member or friend or any evil entities and deities in order to gain power, control, fame, money, or immortality. Whether the spiritualist that rents out the building next door knows it or not, bodies can be unearthed from To clarify matters for investigators, I revisited Google Earth to ascertain the address. However, this search directed me to a different property altogether when looking for the location of where Nikki's body is buried. It took me to Elk Grove BMW dealer. Since August 2021, I have tried to bring this information to public attention, which has since been removed, likely due to its detailed reports of body burials and specific locations of victims and its perpetrators. We must act swiftly to prevent the organization from relocating the bodies and destroying evidence. The dissemination of detailed information regarding a vast network of corruption involving high-ranking government officials, organizational leaders, law enforcement authorities, and various individuals engaged in criminal activity poses significant risk. Some individuals may suffer severe consequences, including hospitalization or even loss of life, as this information, particularly when shared on social media, unearths sensitive secrets. I am, however, assured of protection by higher forces as I pursue the revelation of these organized crimes such as human trafficking that are innocent, which could ultimately lead to a significant global intervention. Globally, and I have recently shared my story as a victim targeted by the same organization. Faces of entities urge us to collaborate and share knowledge to uncover the bodies of innocent people, expose horrific crime, and reveal the perpetrator. Coercion, and as well as stop wrongful incarceration. State may be deemed controversial as the organized crime in question operates globally and implicates well-known multinational corporations. May be implicated in the secret society due to their awareness or fear. As government officials and federal law enforcement agents are engaging in a range of criminal activities. However, it is imperative to consider the profound ethical implications arising from the sophistication of the organization and its members. It is essential to recognize that many victims as the stories unfold. Nikki's whereabouts, details of pinpointed locations, all involved in her murder, how it was done, when, why, and how. Nikki heard her husband discussing with others the details plotting her murder. Her husband sat in the backseat of his truck and continued beating Nikki while his brother drove his truck. At some point, she threw outside the window her husband covered in her blood as evidence. The men made a stop at Feather River Rod and Gun Club, and that's where Nikki threw out a hard object that her husband was beating her with, has her blood over it, and a note was left in. As planned, they arrived at Westwood Airport around 2 p.m. to meet with a sheriff from Shasta County and 2 former Sacramento County sheriffs to go from land to air using a helicopter property of Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. After using the restroom at the airport, she passed a note to a bystander. It was indicated in the note to not give it to the sheriffs outside or to the Sacramento or Shasta County. A female sheriff saw the incident. It was passed on to Scott Jones, a former sheriff from Sacramento, also the pilot of the helicopter. The last text sent to her sister was by a cell site near Highway 70, Feather River College. For the remaining of the ride, Nikki was beat unconscious by all passengers aboard. For nearly 4 weeks in a dark, moist, deep hole at the property of Barnes, 31 people, including her husband and his brother, and mostly law enforcement officers, both male and females, and members from the church secret society, sexually and physically tortured her until she starved to death and died on June 25th. Her remains are still there today. A methodological approach is adhered by the organization wherein each individual will be assigned a specific role that systematically targets innocent victims. Candidates seeking employment may be lured into the organization without an awareness of the manipulative and deceptive practices employed prior to their involvement, unaware that they were already hired prior to a meeting, as they have been watched and monitored for months and years, already knowing everything about their lives. Threats are made promises as employees instill a constant sense of fear. Higher sources will illuminate paths around the world, provide numerical data including dates, times, and quantities, and inform of the locations of various items or beings. Beginning in the 1940s, indigenous populations experienced systematic increase in their annual death rates. The Yumian people were set at the highest death rate at 30% of the population at 108,000. As of 2023, this death rate has escalated to 60%, mysteriously dying or gone missing, with these cases often accounted for and categorized.
Perhaps the clandestine society is aware of missing or hidden ancient biblical scripture. The first Jesus in the name of is 3 generations before him, more ancient than the one well known
CIA intelligence and advanced technology, now integrated with quantum AI. Members from the criminal organization communicates with each other via channeling, a way of communication for ancient aliens which was stolen by the CIA and the secret society. This makes it difficult for investigators to uncover communication among those involved in these crimes. Elon Musk, politicians, celebrities, tech developers, CEOs from various backgrounds, and innocent individuals are victims of Siobhan Tillis and Sam Altman, along with the secret society of hackers, are utilizing manipulative techniques to control the brains, managing every aspect of their lives. These victims are portrayed as themselves, while the brain identities belong to different individuals.